In 2nd Nephi chapter 7, verses 10 and 11, in here Jacob, the prophet Jacob, is quoting Isaiah. And he writes, "Who is among you that feareth the Lord, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness, and hath no light? Behold, all ye that kindle fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks which ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand, ye shall lie down in sorrow." So Jacob quotes it a little bit differently than how it's recorded in the book of Isaiah in the King James Version. So in chapter 50 of Isaiah, verses 10 and 11, it says, "Who is among you that feareth the Lord, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness and hath no light? Let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his God." So that line, that "let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his God," isn't in the Book of Mormon. "Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand, ye shall lie down in sorrow." So, what do these verses mean? Some people find Isaiah very difficult to understand, and that makes sense. This is ancient Hebraic poetry that's been translated into English. One thing to know about it is that Isaiah uses parallelisms, so he will often say the same thing and rephrase it right after each other. So they're kind of parallel thoughts, or you can think of them as rhyming thoughts. So "who is among you that feareth the Lord" rhymes with "that obeyeth the voice of his servant." Those are kind of the same thing. Fearing the Lord and obeying the voice of the servant, those are similar concepts. Similarly, "that walketh in darkness and hath no light." So walking in darkness and not having light, those are similar concepts. And so he's kind of rhyming the concepts in this poetic way, and that can be a hint. If you don't understand what it means the first time, look at it the second time and say, okay, do I understand what it means the second time? Because he's kind of explaining himself. He's saying the same thing twice, lots of times. So he could have just shortened this to "who is among you that feareth the Lord and walks in darkness," right? But he's giving us some more explanation on what it means, okay? Similarly, kindling fire and compassing yourselves about with sparks, those are rhyming ideas, right? And I think that the general idea from these verses is that you should fear the Lord and you should do what his servants tell you to do. Or you can try to make your own fire, make your own light to walk by, make your own sparks, but that's going to end in sorrow, right? You can either get your light and your knowledge and your guidance from God, or you can try to make your own fire, and it'll be like trying to walk with just the light of sparks, and it's not going to end happily for you. And I feel like that's what this is saying. So the first question is, it's that rhetorical question. Like, if you obey the voice of the Lord, like you're not going to be walking in darkness. So that's the rhetorical question, right? Who is there? Like, there isn't anybody. Who is it? He's challenging you to come up with an example of someone who fears the Lord and walks in darkness. And you won't be able to find someone. And then he's saying, if you don't fear the Lord and you want to walk by your own fire, right, it's going to end up sad for you. So anyways, I think they're great verses.